Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. Readers of freedomsphoenix.com are constantly provided the information that detail the real news between the lines of propaganda about government policies and the true relationship we all have with coercive governments. Learn the true condition of our economy, innovations and technological breakthroughs in energy, health, computer science, and space travel. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media, the media that is so last century. Corporate media has evolved into nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but we now have a fantastic alternative. FreedomsPhoenix.com provides constant news updates on the issues that affect our lives in the most important ways. Our liberty and our property are under constant attack, and FreedomsPhoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda while encouraging the participation of our readers. Join us at FreedomsPhoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, Phoenix.com. FreedomsPhoenix.com, where the revolution between the ears has already matured.
And now, live from the studios of Freedom's Phoenix, Ernest Hancock.
Turn on the tube, what do I see? A whole lot of people crying, don't blame me. They point the crooked little fingers at everybody else. Spend all the time feeling sorry for themselves. Victim of this, victim of that. Your mama's too thin and your daddy's too fat. Get over it.
Get over it! Yeah, get over it here on Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock. Special guest, Larken Rose, the man. You know, the family. The family. You know, now that you're kind of experienced in this for quite some time, you know, I did want to get back to the demographics. You know, we had this discussion about a week ago. I was with some friends, and the discussion, you know, I just off the cuff made a statement. I go, you know, it's going to be the grandpas, man. I can see where this is going. It's, you know, what investment do you have? Because I remember probably about 7 years ago, we had, for 2 years straight, at our Freedom Summits, which we got to get you out for a Freedom Summit, man. You know, that'd be good. We have had some people talking about expatriating, you know, to New Zealand, going to Panama, and we put a lot of stuff on Freedom's Phoenix about it. You need to have the courage to start thinking about being able to just move out of the country. You just got, you know, I'm good, man. I'm over here, looking for a beach somewhere. You know, I'm gonna, you know, smoke ganja and have waves lap over my toes in the sand. I mean, you know, I win. So these options are there. But as a young man with a young family, kids get in the station wagon you're going with. Well, now they move out and they start having their own kids. You know, grandpas are kind of, you know, they're a little bit more rooted into the country more than a young person or even a young family. So I'm wondering at what point do they start going, no, this is, yes, I have been the parasitic class. Yes, I have enslaved my grandchildren to fund my entitlement. Yes, and I don't mind as long as I keep getting it. And then when I don't get it or the inflation goes up really high, all of a sudden I get high-minded and principled and I want to save my grandchildren, you know? So I see that coming. And then, of course, you have the young. Now they get into enormous debt with all of this. It's like education debt bubble. And it's just like the housing bubble. And all of a sudden, they got this enormous debt. They're never going to be able to pay it off. And they don't have a job. Inflation's going to be hitting. I mean, it's just from every direction. And I'm wondering where you think the big push for us to extricate ourselves from this superstition is going to come from. Who first? And even if it's a fewer number of grandparents, will they have the older libertarians, the anarchists, are they going to have a big role to play just because they got more experience and resources and whatever? How do you see this playing out over the next year or two?
Well, I think the younger generations have a huge advantage in that the cynicism and doubt and questioning authority is sort of, you know, they haven't been indoctrinated for 50 years. They've only been indoctrinated for a few. And I think it's sort of, a lot of them have an easier time thinking this whole thing's a crock. This doesn't make sense. This is a joke. You know, everybody who runs for office is a complete liar. I think the level of blind nationalism has been dwindling for, you know, since World War II, has been going downhill. So I think they have less of an indoctrination to overcome. But I do see a lot of people of, you know, whether they're old or middle-aged or everything in between, starting to pay attention too. And you know, of course it's easy to point at how bad things are getting and saying, well, that's That's helping, actually. It's helping wake people up to see how bad things are. But I really think there's something weird and almost magic happening that allow people to consider philosophical ideas like, you own yourself and you're not beholden to any master, including the one that calls itself government. And I remember 10 years ago when I was already an anarchist, I knew maybe 6 people who would dare to out loud say, yeah, me too, I don't believe in the state at all. Now I probably know 6,000 at least. And the rate of growth at which this is becoming something that you're allowed to talk about. Like before, if you said that, almost everybody, oh, that's ridiculous, I'm going to run the other direction. And now you have people like Stefan Molyneux and Mark Stevens and people out there, and even Bob Casey, and there's a bunch of people sort of coming out of the woodwork all of a sudden talking about a voluntary society. And they don't just, of course, most people are still statists and still, oh, that's ridiculous, that'll never work, or no, there's, some reason they don't want to think about it. But tons and tons of people are paying attention going, okay, well, how would this work? And I've told a lot of people, when you get to the point of thinking, well, how would this work? You're already there. It's just a matter of time. When you get past no, we have to have a master. If you're not saying that anymore, then it's just a matter of time and thinking things out to realize, yeah, I own me, and these political rituals don't give anybody the right to enslave me and make me pay for wars I don't like and swipe my stuff to give it to somebody else or whatever it is.
The one thing that really kind of surprised me, I think it was yesterday, we had a story up where Ralph Nader was saying that he saw the future and it's the progressives and libertarians overlapping and challenging of. And I'm going, yeah, I can understand why he would say that, but a lot of these guys, they don't understand our opposition to war, our opposition to tyranny, our opposition to controls, our opposition to, the legislation of, I don't know, for lack of a better term, morality. Our opposition to that kind of overlaps and rings true, the drug war, all kinds of stuff. I can see why progressives, they go, yeah, what the libertarians say. And they got a good reason for it. Yeah, and I own myself and all that kind of stuff. What Ralph does not understand is that once the progressives, and I was years on Air America radio, man. I had my dose of I love Obama and Kucinich. I mean, that I'd be nice to them. It was amazing they'd have me as their token libertarian. But what I really understood was once they got that self-ownership in their mind, it's like they said in the Matrix, like a splinter in your mind.
Yep.
Once you do that, it's just a matter of time. So that's all I tried to do is implant that. Well, I put my hand on your shoulder and I just got to ask you a question. Just imagine my hand's on your shoulder and I'm asking you, whose life is this? Well, I mean, it's either yours or somebody else's. I mean, so once you start them down that road, it just takes time. Yep. And I don't think Ralph and these guys understand it's not going to be a political philosophical overlapping. It's going to be an independent, mind-free philosophy thing.
Yeah, anti-political.
Anti-political, yeah, absolutely.
Not just apolitical, but specifically anti-political, of realizing there isn't the machine called government, which is a machine of domination and control. That can't be the answer. That's the problem. It's like we're going to invent a good kind of cancer. Like, no, what we want is none of it, not a new kind of it. We don't want a little bit smaller one or one that doesn't grow as fast. We want none of it. And when you really just grasp the concept of self-ownership and compare it, again, this is, and when half of the world's falling apart, I like to point to the good news here. The good news is the obstacle we have to overcome is not that all the people out there like to attack and rob their neighbors. It's just they've been taught that there's a way that you can do that that's okay, which is called government. And, the progressives, oh, yeah, we're into libertarianism. And it takes all of 20 seconds for me, with me asking them questions to show that, no, you don't, which is, okay, I earn money and there's some government program you want. What do you advocate be done to me if I don't pay for it? put in a cage. Okay, don't call yourself a libertarian, please. If you want to put me in a cage because I don't want to pay for your bad idea, you're not a libertarian yet. Keep thinking about things till you get there.
You know, there was an opportunity. We had a libertarian candidate. He's now a judge, Judge John Buttrick. He's a sitting judge. And he was a candidate for governor as a libertarian in '94. And for 4th of July, they had him up doing one of the Clear Channel station shows here. And he went to let this one woman go on and on about how we got to do this stuff and why it's obligation of and people and government. And he let her go, and we're like, oh, man, what is going? And he finally, when she had a breath, he goes, voluntarily. And, man, it just cut her off right there. And I'm going, you the man. Well, we'll get back with the man, Larken Rose, here in just a little bit. You guys stay right there. This is Ernest Hancock. I'm publisher of freedomsphoenix.com and the radio talk show host of Declare Your Independence. Now, I want to give you my personal endorsement of a wealthy U.S. citizen that is predicting that in 2011, we will witness the most important day in America in more than 50 years. He's produced a video for you. It's a real eye-opener, and I want to make sure that you have an opportunity to watch it. www.endofamerica, the numbers 1 and 7.com. endofamerica17.com. This video has the history of how we got where we are now and where we're going and why. Now, it's a lengthy video. It'll be about 20 minutes, but you need to watch this so you understand what's going to happen to this country and how you can protect your wealth and even benefit financially. Now, you go there. It's free. I want you to watch this video. You need to have this information so that you can survive the economic collapse that's coming to America. It's not if, it's when. That's End of America, the numbers 1 and 7.com. After you watch it, you'll understand why I endorse it.